Marc Guggenheim, who worked on Arrow, Legends of Tomorrow, Supergirl, and the animated show Vixen, has come out now to say that he feels like he wasted his time with the Arrowverse. What the actual fuck? I'm honestly not surprised that Marc Guggenheim is saying this because he has said some pretty stupid crap in the past, and I've heavily criticized him for things he has done in the Arrowverse, but at the same time, he has done some good things. And on top of the shows that I mentioned that he's worked on, he was heavily involved with the crossover events each year during the Arrowverse, and he was the one who basically single-handedly, even though he had help, shepherding Crisis on Infinite Earths, and now he's saying, I wasted my time. I would have loved to have the gig that he had, to work on multiple shows, potentially bring in new characters in. Obviously, there's certain limitations, all that kind of stuff, because he just didn't have the reins to do whatever he wanted. But literally, he could have done so many cool things, and some things he did good, other not so much. But I would have loved his job. But for him to say, I feel like I wasted my time, I actually pull up the quote to see what he actually said here. Before we get to the actual comment about he felt like he wasted his time in the Arrowverse, I wanted to read you a couple of things that led up to this point, because I cannot believe the mindset of Marc Guggenheim with this. Well, this week, James Gunn announced that he is assembling a writer's room to help chart out what the new DC universe under his and James Safran's leadership is going to be. Suffice it to say, I am not among that group. Okay, let's continue. I'm not particularly surprised. In fact, I assumed that they would assemble some kind of brain trust to help facilitate what I hoped would be a vision as ambitious as the DC Universe deserves. But I'll be honest, I would have liked to have gotten at least a meeting. Not a job, mind you, a meeting, a conversation. He's trying to save face here. A small recognition of what I did to try to contribute to the grand tapestry that is the DC Universe. I only spent 9 years toiling in that vineyard, after all, then including how he worked on the Green Lantern movie, which apparently there's a lot of changes with that. The Green Lantern streaming series, at one point he was a co-writer on the Green Lantern streaming series a number of years ago, but of course it's being rebranded and retooled and all that kind of stuff. And comic books he lists off here as well. So he was expecting and hoping for a meeting, a conversation, because of the work he did in the Arrowverse. Your work is still there, Mark, okay? And the thing is, James Gunn and Peter Safran are bringing in new people, new faces to work on DC. They're not going to look to old regimes and old people that worked on previous things to bring them into new stuff. And obviously, that may happen every once in a while, but literally, you're the only person who worked on the Arrowverse that I'm hearing that is saying this stuff, that you were hoping to get a meeting because you did all this work, so they should bring me in to do more DC. No, that's not how this business never works that way, Mark. It never works this way. And here is the line. Simply put, the Arrowverse hasn't led to any other gigs, and I'll get to this in a minute. So it feels, at least on a career level, that I really wasted my time. Wow. That comment, in my opinion, is number one, a slap in the face to all the people that watched any show that you were a part of, because you're saying it was a waste of time to work on these shows, a waste of time. And on top of that, a bigger slap in the face to all of the people that were in the writer's room with you, that worked on set, in front of the camera, the talent. You're slapping them all in the face because you're telling them that you feel like you wasted your time working on the shows that they were a part of, that they were a part of to make and to put out. Regardless of how people's responses are in terms of the different shows and the quality and all that kind of stuff, you all work together as a team to get said product done. And you're saying, I wasted my time working on this stuff. So basically, you're saying you don't want to work with anybody a part of these because you felt like you wasted your time working on said thing. And with that comment, they feel like you wasted your time. Future potential employers are going to potentially see this, and I think they will, because everyone's reporting on what you said here in this blog post, that they may not hire you now. They may not, because of your comments, because you may later down the road go, I feel like I wasted my time working on that series. What? Here we have Marc Guggenheim's Wikipedia page. Now, if you remember, he said that he hasn't gotten work since the Arrowverse days, and technically that's true, even though he worked on a version of Green Lantern scripts. He did hopefully get paid for those, I believe, 10 scripts. He was co-writing on the Green Lantern series, a version of that Green Lantern streaming series. But let's look at his Wikipedia here, because he has a variety of credits in terms of producer credits, writing credits on a variety of different shows leading up to DC. However, it wasn't just DC he was working on during the time of the Arrowverse. He was working also on Tales of Arcadia, Troll Hunters, Three Below, Tales of Arcadia, Wizards, Tales of Arcadia, Carnival Row, an executive producer and a writer for one episode during this time. So if you read his blog post and don't look into his actual credits, you think that he only spent all that time on the Arrowverse when he literally was jumping around, working on multiple shows in the Arrowverse: Arrow, Vixen, Legends, Supergirl, and then all of these Tales of Arcadia, which I've heard these are actually good animated series for Netflix. I've heard that. He has an executive producer credit on all of them. And I don't know if he has any work on Carnival Row Season 2, which I believe is about to come out, or it is out now. Regardless, he worked on Season 1, and he was a writer. He was an executive producer, which is a big credit for series. So to sit there and say, I wasted all my time. You were working on other projects, Mark. You were writing on other shows. And to sit there and go, well, I deserved a meeting. I deserved a meeting at least because of my work in the Arrowverse. No one else is saying this. No one else is going out there and saying this. You have other work. You have the credits of other shows before DC, and you worked on other shows while working at DC. You can easily get another gig. Now, I get it. Writing gigs can be tricky, especially for TV series, but they're making so much content now in terms of films and TV, whether it's for cable broadcast or for streaming. There are a lot of potential possibilities. And the fact that you worked at Netflix for a couple of different projects, I'm pretty sure you can get a writing gig at a Netflix show. I'm pretty sure you can get something. I mean, you have the credits to prove. But to sit there, and I wanted to point this out as well, he almost wanted to kill the newsletter this week. He didn't want to post this. You shouldn't have posted this, Mark. You should not have posted this at all, because this is making you look like an ass more than normal. You literally, you feel like you wasted your time. That I really wasted my time. Wow. Slap in the face. Like I've been saying, a slap in the face to the people that worked on these projects. A slap in the face. It really is. And to sit there and go, well, I haven't gotten new work. Well, yeah, you haven't really gotten new work, but you have worked on a lot of stuff leading up to 2020. You worked on a variety of things, and you had another gig after that, but then things happen, things change. You know that. This is the business. This is how it is. I shouldn't be surprised, Mark, that you said all this, because you are the same individual who said that Earth One Laurel Lance, her story was done. That's why she was killed off in season 4. You told Gail Simone, I'm hoping I'm pronouncing her last name correctly. You told her on Twitter that you were gonna do this right. You were gonna do Black Canary right. You fucked up. You lied to her. You had decades upon decades of potential stories that you could tell, that you could pull from for Black Canary. What did you do? You fucked it all up. And to see this at the end of this, going, I felt like I wasted my time. And this might be a reflection after the fact. But if you honestly felt this way, and if you felt like this way for a while, then why did you keep working on projects? Why did you keep working on the shows? Oh, because it was money, right? It was money. But now that era is over. The Arrowverse is done. It's done. It's coming to an end. It's going to be done officially, but it is done. It's on the way out. You can get another gig, Mark. You can get another gig. It may take you some time and some work, but I don't know, based off your comments here, if potential other employees down the road, employers, want to potentially hire you, and they see this, that you felt like in terms of your career level that you really wasted your time, they may think, well, Mark might say down the road for a project we hire him for. If we hire him for the said streaming show down the road, and then he doesn't get a gig or something straight after it or whatever, or a meeting like he suspected he deserved a meeting, because he didn't get into that group and he's surprised, I would have liked to have gotten at least a meeting, he wanted a meeting, that you may say that you wasted your time on a show down the road if they hire you. Because you're saying it now, so you may say it again. So you're shooting yourself in the foot. That's what's happening here. So in conclusion, Mark, you should not have said what you said. I can't believe you said what you said. And sitting here and complaining about your work, basically, in your opinion, being invalid because you feel like you wasted your time, well, potential people down the road that could hire you, they may not, because of you now invalidating your own work and saying, I feel like I wasted my time with all that. I should have got a meeting with DC. I should have at least got a meeting. It's like, oh, so you're demanding that you should have got a meeting. There was no guarantee you were ever going to get anything because you did your work. You got paid for years. Not like 1, not 2 years. You got paid to do this. You got paid to be a part of these shows. And you had other gigs during the same time. So stop. Okay. You're just complaining because you don't have any recent work that you can show for. But you have all these other things. And if you go back even higher, you had all these credits throughout the years. So no, it wasn't a waste of time. You're just not going outside of DC to find something else to do for work. That's what other writers did who are done with these shows that were a part of the shows you worked on. They've moved on to other things. You can do the same, Mark. It's not that hard. Now, I get it. Getting a writing gig can be hard, but since you've been in the business for so long, I would assume you can find something to be a part of in terms of writing an episode here or there, or being a part of a show in some sort of capacity. You can do it, Mark. It's not that hard, and because you've been a part of this for quite a while, working in this industry. So stop complaining on social media. No one else is doing it. Stop doing it.